Good evening, Mayor Seibel, members of council, Chairman Gordon, members of Board of Supervisors. As Ms. Haldeman said, it is indeed an honor to present this budget for the second year of our consolidation, when we will have a united student body for the upcoming FY24 budget. So we're happy to be here. We start out with our little cougar Paul that we're all very proud of and happy to have. And so Thomas said to just advance this. I don't know if you can read that, but you should all have a copy of this. Like I say, it is unique as we merge students and school facilities in the Alleghany Highlands Public School Division. We will need to be flexible, adaptive, and focused as we respond to the challenges and opportunities presented with the creation of a single student body. As we plan for adequate staffing needs for a single middle school and a single high school, we are committed to staff retention, supporting low pupil-teacher ratios, and providing an optimal education environment. Special thanks do go to our board members Marie Fitzpatrick and John Littleton, who served on our FY Budget Committee this year. As you know, the Code of Virginia requires the Virginia Department of Education to provide budgetary estimates within 15 days following the adjournment of the General Assembly. The Code then requires public school divisions to submit to the local appropriating body by April 1 an estimate of the monies deemed to be needed during the next fiscal year. The General Assembly did adjourn in February 28th, I believe, or 16th, I believe it was, without a final budget. So we are basing this budget that we're presenting tonight, and that was adopted by the school board last night, on the House of Delegates budget version, which we think is a conservative estimate. We may need to do a budget revision when the budget is finalized by the General Assembly. The budget presented tonight and adopted by the school board last night totals $47,545,227 and represents an increase of 2.6% over the FY24 budget. Mrs. Haldeman noted some highlights, and I'll just note a few more. There is no increase in local appropriations in this budget presented tonight. We have had significant personnel savings due to attrition, combined administrations, and the creation of a single middle school and a single high school. There's no involuntary loss of jobs or reductions in pay or benefits due to the merger. We did, with this budget, create uniform percentage increases between all of our salary step increases. Our current scales have percentage increases that vary so pretty substantially, so we were happy to be able to create uniform step increases. Step 0 of the salary scales was adjusted to capture the state compensation supplement, which in the House version was a 7% increase. Employees are advanced one step on the salary scales for a minimum increase of 7%. As you may know, Virginia's minimum wage is targeted to increase in January of 2025. Our board felt it was important to make gains toward this as quickly as we could, since some of these positions that do, the step 0 does start at $12 an hour, that's our current minimum wage. And some of those positions are our hardest to fill positions. So we did increase our minimum wage to $13.50 with this budget. That is why our average salary increase is 8.5% rather than the 7%. It does provide for continued participation in the local choice healthcare program with no plan changes. We are, due to the changes, the way the local choice is changing the experience weighted system, it did result in a 7.2% increase in healthcare costs. It is the second year of the biennium, so there are going to be no rate increases for the Virginia retirement system. When we did merge, this year we had various amounts of payouts for Alleghany County employees, JRTC employees, and Covington City employees with the retirement of sick leave, on payout of accrued sick leave. And in the merge system, that payout is $40 an hour. It was less for Alleghany County employees and less for JRTC employees, so we increased that to the $40 for those employees. We did provide for uniform extracurricular activity supplements. These are coaching supplements. We are providing an in-house division-wide preschool program at all of our elementary schools for eligible 4-year-olds. This will create 2 new teacher and 4 teacher assistant positions, and it will eliminate VIP outsourcing to Virginia Preschool Edition program outsourcing to the YMCA. This will be bringing that program in-house and offer it at all of our elementary schools. Now it's only offered at G1. It does include the addition of one full-time English as a second language teacher, the addition of one full-time SPED teacher, a special education early childhood teacher. There's the addition of one full-time speech and language pathologist. Being able to hire a speech and language pathologist significantly reduces the amount we have to pay when we contract for these services. Because it's usually out of the area, we pay travel costs, and the costs are substantial. We did employ one full-time and one part-time occupational therapist, same thing, very costly when you have to contract for those services. We do still have some increased contractual services for psychological services. RDA is our financial management system. We did project an increase in those costs by about $8,000. In the first year of the biennium, which is this year, the state budget, the governor's budget included $1,751,126 for school construction funds. We did not spend those funds this year, so we're able to carry those funds into the next year, which we will do. As you will remember, we get joint school division incentive funds. In 2022, we received $1.2 million. For the current fiscal year, we're receiving $600,000. And next year, we'll also receive $600,000. Right now, these funds are budgeted in contingency funds, but they will be transferred to a fund that we have for joint school services at the end of the year. Our ADM, our enrollment projections are included down the next screen. We are anticipating enrollment of 2,670 for next year. This is a slight decrease from the current year. Those 90 children in our Virginia Preschool Initiative program that I spoke about earlier, they are not included in our ADM figure. So that 2,670 is what we are basing our revenues on. There's a breakdown of our state revenues per line item. I'll just point out some things at the bottom of this page. You see the $600,000 for the joint school division incentive. You see $534,140, that's the Virginia Preschool Initiative program. Those funds typically went to the YMCA for this year, previous years. They'll stay in-house next year. And school construction funds of $1,751,126. The reason that is different than the current year is because when we did our current year budget, we based it again, the General Assembly didn't finalize its budget for last year until June. So we had based it on the governor's budget of $2,033,504. The actual amount we will receive this year is the $1,751,126. Just a continuation of state funds on the next page. On the next page, you'll see our federal revenues. And all of these programs are where we receive direct reimbursement for all these programs, and there'll be an exact expenditure amount on the expenditure side of the budget, because these monies are spent and then reimbursed. We did lose a grant that we have at Alleghany County to increase healthcare, to encourage people to go into the healthcare field for $108,000. We will be losing that grant, but we are able to maintain staff for that program with this budget. And you see that our local appropriation does remain at $12,235,932. That's level funding with this year. So again, our total budget is $47,545,227. You see a graphic depiction of the revenues there. They're 65% state funded, 26% local, and federal funds are 9%. The expenditure summary depicts our budget the way we have to present it to the state with the annual school report and the categories that we have to submit on instruction, administration, attendance and health, people transportation, operation and maintenance, facilities, technology, and contingency. So that's just a display of all those things that are in the school operating budget. We do have some separate funds that I'll discuss now that include, like food service, for example, is a separate fund. It's not in the school operating. Any questions on the operating budget? Next, you'll see Fund 14, which is the Joint School Division Incentive Fund. And as I said, we had the $1.2 million that we received in 2022. We'll transfer the $600,000 that we received this year there. We've spent not a lot of those funds this current year. We'll be continuing to spend them between now and the remainder of next year. So those funds are depicted there. Fund 15 is food service. That's also a separate entity. We receive federal revenues from school nutrition and reimbursements for that program. We have a textbook fund. These are funds that we carry forward each year when we anticipate the school textbook adoption, which could be very costly. So we do maintain funds for that. Any other questions? I think I've skipped the government school. We also have funds for the government school used to be included in the general fund operating budget, but it is pulled out now into a separate fund as well. And it's funded by a state allocation as well as tuition from students attending the government school.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was a good presentation. You gonna take questions?
Oh, sure.
Council, any of you have any questions? Matt, your board?
Board member, questions or comments?
Yeah, I got a question. How much of this budget is the county responsible for? Percentage-wise?
We have, if you're asking how many students, I mean,
What percentage that the county has to pay this budget, overall budget?
well, our local funds now are $12 million. And the county appropriation, I think, is about a little over 9, I believe. And the cities is a little over 2, I think. We have about, I think the breakout of students is about 62% county, about 31 maybe percent county, or it's probably 67 county, 31 city, and 1 out of non-resident.
It's all based proportional on where the students come from.
Correct. And that's where the students come from.
And the level funding is the same we funded for the last several years.
For the city and the county.
Any other questions? Our board?
What do you have for a schedule for capital expenditures?
Well, we have the school construction fund. That's the 1.7 million. We do still have some ESSER funds, which I think are about $2 million in the budget. Most of those are going to go toward capital improvements. And then we have the school incentive funds. Some of those funds will go toward.
Do you have it in a format that we can look at?
We do not. I think we are I think our maintenance department is working on a capital improvement budget.
That'd be great if we could get that
Absolutely,
in a 3-year plan. if it's
absolutely,
possible.
absolutely.
Thank you.
I like your logo. Good shot.
We like our logo, don't you like it?
That's what I said.
We're very pleased. You can buy items, support the schools, put that little logo on there. We would encourage that. Locally and online, you can do that.
Good job.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Want a car loan with a little get up and go? Our credit union offers quick loan approvals and great rates. Our loans get you on the road fast because we belong to you. Jackson River Community Credit Union. We belong to you. Online at jacksonrivcomcu.org. We're federally insured by NCUA. We're an equal housing lender.